According to a new book by ABC News' Washington chief, Jonathan Karl, on his last day as President of the United States, right as he's about to leave the White House forever, hopefully forever, Donald Trump got into a heated exchange with GOP Chair Ronna McDaniel, where he told her he was sick of the GOP, he's through with the Republican Party, and he's going to go off and start his own party. And he doesn't care if that tanks the current Republican Party, if it splits the vote and makes Democrats win. The guy didn't care. I'm leaving. I'm taking my people with me. I'm starting my own party. And this isn't news. See, we've known that. And what drives me crazy is that, this new report from this book was all over the headlines for the last 2 days. Like, oh, Trump threatened to leave the Republican Party and started. Yeah, we knew that. We had plenty of reports. I did plenty of segments here talking about the fact that Donald Trump was actively trying to form his own party. He was having meetings down in Mar-a-Lago. Trump Jr. was there. I think Brad Parscale was in on him. I think Steve Bannon was even a part of it to a degree. They were going to start their own party. Was it the Patriot Party, the Freedom Party, maybe the Freedom Patriots? I don't know what it was. I don't remember the name of it, but we talked about it. So why is everybody acting like this is new news when this is something we've known pretty much the entire year? We may not have known that he blew up at Ronna McDaniel, but we do know that he threatened to form his own party and that he was actually, kind of getting into the process of doing that. But what I will say is that nobody ever did the follow-up, and that includes me. I'm sorry about that. Because that's what we should have done. And that's where the reporting, even all the reporting out now, falls short. Trump was ready to start his own political party. He put the wheels in motion. He was meeting with people. They were figuring this thing out. And then suddenly all the talk of it just disappeared. Why? Because the Republican Party decided we can't have this new Trump party siphoning off all of our voters, basically giving Democrats huge victories everywhere, even in areas where they shouldn't be able to win. So let's cave into his demands. Let's do everything Donald Trump wants us to do. Let's kiss the ring. Let's make him the king. And whatever crazy, stupid, idiot thing he has to say that day, we'll just either not say anything about it, or we'll go along with it. Why not, right? That's what happened. Trump threatened to start his own party, so instead the Republicans decided to make him their king, to give him the keys to their political party. And in spite of last week's election results for Republicans, it's not working very well for them. Donald Trump's apparatus is outraising the biggest Republican fundraising arm right now, the National Republican Congressional Committee. He's got almost double the amount of donations that they do, double the amount of cash on hand. And he's not sharing it with them. But God forbid they say anything about it, so instead they've got to go out there, beg to their donors, you got to give us more money, go meet with wealthy billionaires across the country, give us more money, because he's got his war chest of over $100 million, and we're sitting here trying to break 60 million. And we got a lot of seats to defend. We got a lot of Democrats to defeat. We need lots of money. And they're in this mess. They're in this situation because they decided to indulge him because they were afraid of him. As I repeatedly said, the second Donald Trump left office, actually the second that Joe Biden was sworn in as the 46th president of the United States, noon Eastern on January 20th, Trump lost any and all power that he ever had. It was gone. The Republicans could have moved on from him. They could have cut all ties and said, great, hey, thanks, we're out of here. You go do you down at Mar-a-Lago. We're not going to entertain any of your ideas. We're not going to follow with your election lies. We're not going to defend you. We're not going to talk about you either. But we're going to move on. We're going to move forward. But they got so scared that this incompetent buffoon was somehow going to start his own successful third party. The guy that couldn't even run a damn casino. I mean, do you know how horrible, how bad at business you have to be to bankrupt a casino, multiple casinos actually? People literally just walk in and start feeding money into machines. And most of them walk out with no money. And you can't make a profit off of that? Yeah, you're bad at business at that point. So how in the hell do you think he was going to run a successful political party? Especially with the gaggle of weirdos he put together to run it? The answer is he wasn't. And I think now all of this was a bluff. Oh, he had the meetings, he had the intent, but he never really thought he'd have to follow through with it because he knew at the end of the day, Republicans are spineless, cowardly little creatures. And they did exactly what he wanted them to do by giving him all of the power that he was already pretending that he had. And that is why we have a Republican Party today that is obsessed with conspiracy theories, obsessed with culture wars, obsessed with literally everything except for policy, because they don't have any ideas. They just know to tell people, be pissed off about these things, be pissed off about all these fake things, and maybe it'll work out for us in the elections. Admittedly, it did last week, but let's see if that obsession with Trump, obsession with conspiracies pushed by Trump, let's see how that plays out for him in the next 12 months.